Henry Chandler Cowles, the father of ecology, said of the Indiana Dunes, "No other dunes than ours show such bewildering displays of dunes movement and struggle for existence, such labyrinths of motion, form, and life. They are without a parallel." In this episode, follow us on a historical journey to learn about the series of events that led to the creation and preservation of what we know today as the Indiana Dunes, nature's masterpiece. About 14,000 years ago, the local glaciers receded, leaving behind rolling hills, wetlands, Lake Michigan, and the Dunes Ridgeline. This key event, which defines the geography of our area to this day, resulted in more than 15,000 acres of sand dunes, prairies, oak savannas, wetlands, and forests. Early Native Americans began populating the Great Lakes region after the glacial recession. Up until 1830, the Potawatomi tribe, known as Keepers of the Fire, lived in the area in semi-permanent villages where they gathered nuts, fruits, cranberries, and wild rice. They hunted bison and other game, and cultivated maize and squash. They fished the bountiful waters of Lake Michigan and its tributaries, and tapped sugar maples to capture the sweet sap. Although contact with the French fur traders who came to their lands was initially beneficial, the Potawatomi were forcibly removed from Indiana after selling their land to the U.S. government. It's hard to believe now, but not long ago, the Indiana Dunes were on the verge of extinction. Railroads of the mid-1800s cut through our region, accelerating economic and population growth, bringing both opportunity and threat. The wealth of Dunes area resources allowed for much opportunity, but at the expense of the environment. Inevitably, the booming economic growth led to exploitation, including mass draining of wetlands, large-scale deforestation, and international exportation of precious Dunes sand. By the late 1800s, pollution invaded the Dunes landscape, and by the turn of the century, the steel mills and other industry began encroaching on the shoreline. By the early 20th century, scientific interest in the area began to solidify the importance and awareness of the dunes as a valued treasure. Legendary poet Carl Sandburg wrote, "The dunes are to the Midwest what the Grand Canyon is to Arizona. They constitute a signature of time and eternity. Once lost, the loss would be irrevocable." It was this philosophy that led to the creation of grassroots organizations like the Prairie Club, the National Dunes Park Association, and the Save the Dunes Council. Each of these passionate organizations contributed to the eventual establishment of the state park and National Lakeshore in the 20th century. The Indiana Dunes area has had a long history of dramatic environmental and societal change and challenges. Now, thanks to national, state, and private awareness and resources, the dunes flourish in the modern landscape. Stop by the Visitor Center to learn more about our rich history.